So yesterday we talked about the two main types of bonds, which are ionic bonds and covalent bonds. And ionic and covalent bonds are the forces that hold molecules together. So they're what hold the individual atoms together within a single molecule. Today we're going to talk about a different type of force called a van der Waals force. This is called an intermolecular force, and this is one of the forces that would hold different molecules next to each other. So van der Waals forces, they form when the movement of electrons causes unequal distribution in the electron cloud. So electrons are constantly moving about the nucleus of the atom, and electrons have a negative charge. The nucleus, which contains protons and neutrons, has a positive charge because of the protons. So then depending on where these electrons are, you might get temporary areas with temporary partial charges. So if you have a lot of electrons built up on this side of the atom, it's going to have this temporary negative charge. Again, if all of the electrons are over on this side of the atom and the nucleus is over here, you're going to get a temporary positive charge over here. In a neighbor molecule, let's say we have a similar situation where all the electrons are over here, which forms a partial negative, and then you leave the positive nucleus without as much electrons, so you get this partial positive. And last time we established that opposite charges attract. So when you get these two molecules near each other, they're going to line up. So the negative side of one molecule is near the positive side of another. And so this is an attraction here between this negative and this positive charge. And this attraction is going to hold these two molecules close together. And so this attraction is called a van der Waals force. Van der Waals forces are not nearly as strong as an ionic bond or a covalent bond, but they are still very, very important, and they play a key role in a lot of biological processes. So one we'll talk about on the next couple slides, it has a lot to do with water and how water molecules attract to each other. Another fun example is geckos being able to climb on smooth surfaces. It turns out that the geckos have millions of tiny hairs on underneath their, hands, feet, paws, I don't know what you call them. But then there is a van der Waals attraction between a smooth surface and the hairs on the gecko's feet. And that attraction is what allows geckos to climb up smooth surfaces. Water is another example of a molecule that has a lot of van der Waals forces that helps hold water together. So one property of water you need to know is water is polar. Okay, you need to know that. And I would highlight, underline, or star the word polar. Okay, so water is polar. Okay, and when we look at the word polar, polar means that there are two opposite ends. Something that's polar that you are probably familiar with is a magnet. Magnets have a north pole and a south pole. And if you've ever played with two magnets before, you've probably felt that when the north and the south pole are near each other, they attract and the magnets stick together. And then if you flip the magnet over and you either have two north poles or two south poles near each other, you can actually feel that repulsion. Okay. When we talk about water being polar, it has two opposite ends, but one is going to be a partially positive charged end. And the way we show it's a partial positive is this little delta symbol. Okay, so that's a delta. So it just means it's partially positive. And we have a partially negative charged end. So if we look at our example of water over here, we have H2O, so 1 oxygen and 2 hydrogens. Okay. The oxygen is going to pull the electrons closer to it. It has this property called electronegativity, so it has a stronger electronegativity, so it pulls the electrons. And again, electrons have a negative charge. So if electrons spend more time by oxygen, this area of the molecule gets this partial negative charge. So you can also write that as the partial negative. So then this area, you have the hydrogens. The electrons have moved over here, so the hydrogens are left with a lack of electrons, so they have this partial positive charge. So when you hear the phrase that water is polar, it just means that part of a water molecule has a partially positive charge, and another part has a partial negative charge. All right, so this slide pretty much covers exactly what we talked about the last slide. So we'll just go through it again. So polar molecules just have that unequal distribution of charges. Okay, so again, that means that we have the partial positive and the partial negative. Again, when you hear the word polar, polar just means 2 opposite poles or 2 opposite ends. Okay, and again, here's my magnet, the north or south pole. When it comes to molecules, we're talking about positive and negative charges. So when we look at hydrogen has a very specific type of van der Waals force called a hydrogen bond. So we are going to talk about hydrogen bonds constantly throughout our year in biology. So hydrogen bonds are when you get this weak interaction formed between 2 different molecules, and you have to have a hydrogen attached to one molecule, and it's going to be attracted to either a nitrogen, oxygen, or fluorine of a different molecule. So if we look at this picture, I'm just going to kind of circle the waters so we can distinguish them. So this is one water molecule, and this is a second water molecule. And so here we have the partial positive hydrogen on this molecule. It is attracted to this partial negatively charged oxygen of a second water molecule. And as we have established before, opposites attract. So these water molecules are going to adjust so this partial positive can be near this partial negative. And it's going to form this force or this bond here holding this water molecule next to this water molecule. And so it's this attraction right here, it's shown by the dotted line, that is the hydrogen bond. And we can just write H bond for hydrogen bond. So water forms hydrogen bonds with each molecule in a sample. So this is what causes water to have a lot of unique properties. And so think about some of the things we've talked about with water. So water has some very unique properties in the sense that water is like, it does a really good job of attracting to itself. So water is very cohesive, or it has cohesion. So that's when 2 water molecules are attracted to each other. So water sticks together. It also has a strong surface tension. How many of you have ever seen like a bug be able to stand on water? Or if you've ever been able to float like a needle or a paper clip on water. It has a strong surface tension because there's a strong attraction between these molecules. And again, a hydrogen bond, it is still weak compared to an ionic or a covalent bond. It fits into the van der Waals, so it's relatively weak, but it is a strong enough force to give water these unique properties.